Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we've prepared a special piece of content that will definitely keep you hooked from start to finish. I guarantee it's going to be a great experience, so go ahead and get comfortable because the video is just getting started. And there's plenty of interesting stuff coming your way. After a surprising move at the NBA trade deadline, the focus is now entirely on the buyout market. General Manager Mike Dunleavy has the mission of finding reinforcements that could strengthen the roster for a challenging stretch run. With the team fighting for a spot in the Western Conference playoffs, every addition could be the difference between a successful campaign or a frustrating one. That's why fans are paying attention to all possibilities, and one name that's emerging as an extremely viable option is Malcolm Brogdon. The question now is not just whether the Warriors want Brogdon, but whether he will be available and if the team will be able to sign him before the competition. Golden State has already taken an important step by trading for Jimmy Butler, a move that has shaken the entire league. This acquisition shows that the front office is willing to do whatever it takes to keep the team competitive. But with 3 open roster spots and financial flexibility after that trade, new signings are more than likely. The Warriors find themselves in a strategic position. Currently, the team is about $1.3 million below the NBA's first apron, meaning they have space to add players without exceeding financial limits that could restrict future moves. This gives Golden State an advantage over several teams that are above the apron and therefore unable to sign waived players with high salaries. Based on this, it's crucial to understand who the available names are in the market and how each of them could fit into Coach Steve Kerr's system. Players like Bruce Brown, Ben Simmons, and Bojan Bogdanovic are some of the most talked about options, but not all of them are accessible. Bruce Brown, for example, is expected to stay with the Pelicans, and Ben Simmons has already signed with another team. This leaves Malcolm Brogdon as one of the last big names that could truly make a difference. Now, what makes Brogdon such a desired player for the Warriors? First and foremost, he brings experience and consistency. His averages for the current season are 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Although his three-point shooting percentage has dropped to 29%, he has already proven to be an excellent shooter throughout his career. In past seasons, he was part of the exclusive group of players with averages of 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. In addition, his ability to contribute both in playmaking and defense would be a huge boost for the Warriors. With the departure of Dennis Schroeder and the injury to DeAnthony Melton, the team has lost depth at the point guard position. Currently, the available options are Brandon Podziemski, Pat Spencer, and Gary Payton II, talented players but lacking the experience and versatility that Brogdon can offer. Another important factor to consider is how he would fit into the Warriors' playing system. The team's style is based on movement, quick passes, and game reading. Unlike a traditional point guard who relies on pick-and-roll plays, Brogdon has tactical intelligence and an efficient off-the-ball game, which would make him a valuable piece alongside Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. If Brogdon is indeed waived by the Washington Wizards, he will undoubtedly be the best player available on the buyout market. The question now is when this could happen and whether the Warriors will be able to sign him before other interested teams. Washington made important moves at the trade deadline, bringing in players like Jordan Poole, A.J. Johnson, Marcus Smart, and Chris Middleton, further increasing the competition for minutes at the point guard and shooting guard positions. With so many options at their disposal, Brogdon's waiver becomes a real possibility. If the Warriors really want to secure Malcolm Brogdon before another team acts more quickly, they need to move now. In the waiver market, the speed of decision-making can be the difference between strengthening the team or losing an essential player to a direct rival in the playoff race. The situation is clear. Washington has a crowded backcourt and may not see the need to keep Brogdon for the remainder of the season. If the Wizards' management decides to release him, it will be a unique opportunity for Golden State. The issue is that even though some teams are restricted from signing him due to salary cap limits, there are still franchises that can enter the competition. This is exactly why the Golden State Warriors need to act strategically. If they can convince Brogdon that his role on the team will be significant, their chances of signing him increase considerably. One factor that could weigh in this decision is the fact that the Warriors offer a competitive environment where Brogdon could contend for the championship and enhance his value for the next season. Another point that favors Golden State is the franchise's winning culture. Players who join the team tend to elevate their game due to the well-structured system and the presence of stars like Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. Brogdon would have the chance to play alongside players who know how to win and create an environment where everyone on the roster shines. Additionally, there's a tactical aspect that can't be ignored. Steve Kerr likes to work with versatile players who can play different roles within the team's scheme. Brogdon is not just a traditional point guard. He can play both the 1 and the 2 positions, adapting to the team's needs based on the game's situation. This fits perfectly into the Warriors' style, which values multifunctional players who make smart decisions on the floor. If we look at the current Warriors roster, it's clear that Brogdon's arrival would bring immediate benefits. Right now, Curry has a huge responsibility in running the offense. Jordan Poole, who used to share that role, is no longer on the team. Chris Paul, who could have been that complementary piece, has been dealing with injuries and hasn't been able to maintain consistency. This means that currently, when Curry is off the floor, playmaking is compromised. Malcolm Brogdon would solve this problem immediately. He could lead the second unit, give more fluidity to the offense, and prevent the team from losing rhythm when Curry is on the bench. Another relevant factor is his defensive ability. The Warriors have had difficulties with perimeter defense, especially when facing teams with fast and aggressive point guards. Brogdon, although not an elite defender, has the physical build that allows him to guard multiple positions and contest shots more efficiently than some of the current players on the roster. Not to mention the impact his experience would bring to the team. We've seen many times how veteran players can be crucial in the decisive moments of the season. Brogdon would not only add talent, but also maturity and basketball IQ. In games where every possession matters, having someone with his experience could make all the difference. With all this in mind, the focus now is on the Wizards' decision. Will they really waive him? If that happens, will the Warriors be able to act quickly enough to secure his signing? Looking at the current NBA landscape, it's clear that Golden State cannot waste this opportunity. With Jimmy Butler's arrival, the team has already shown that they are committed to making the necessary adjustments to get back to the top, but that trade alone won't be enough. If the Warriors truly want to be competitive in the final stretch of the season, they need to continue improving the roster. Brogdon may not be a superstar, but he's exactly the kind of piece that could make a difference when the playoffs arrive. His fit in the system, his ability to contribute in multiple aspects of the game, and his experience make him an ideal target. And that's why fans are eager to see how this situation unfolds. The possibility of adding a player like Brogdon without having to give up valuable assets is a perfect scenario for the Warriors. But time is running out, and every day that passes without a decision increases the risk that another team will make an irresistible offer. At 22 years old, Kai Sotto has already built an impressive career in basketball. He's not just a tall player. His combination of height, agility, and coordination makes him a unique talent. With a dominant presence in the paint and versatile offensive skills, Kai has all the qualities to become an impactful athlete in the NBA. Imagine a center who can protect the rim with authority while also contributing offensively in a creative way. That's the potential he represents. But is his talent and physical attributes enough to stand out in the most competitive league in the world? That's the big question. The transition to North American basketball is a giant challenge. The intensity of the games, the fast pace, and the physical demands are all levels above any other league Kai has played in so far. If he truly joins the Golden State Warriors, expectations will go beyond his performances on the court. The Bay Area, where the franchise is based, has a large Filipino community. Kai's arrival could become a milestone not just in sports, but also culturally. He wouldn't just be another athlete competing for minutes. He could become an icon of pride for millions of Filipino fans worldwide. Picture the electrifying atmosphere at the Chase Center, fueled by the passion of fervent fans cheering for one of their own in the NBA. Moreover, from a commercial standpoint, Kai Sotto's presence would further expand the Warriors' brand globally, strengthening their fan base in Asia and driving new business opportunities. A young player's adaptation to the NBA is never simple. For Kai, the challenge will be even greater. North American professional basketball demands more than just raw talent. Consistency, improving defensive mobility, and adjusting to the frantic pace of the games will be crucial for his survival in the league. Although he has already shown flashes of brilliance in his time in Japanese basketball, the NBA is a ruthless environment where any weakness can be exploited. If the Warriors do indeed choose to bring Kai Sotto onto the roster, they will be betting on a talent that, if properly developed, could yield incredible results. The franchise has a strong history in player development, and if this bet materializes, Kai will have the chance to learn from sport icons like Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Under the guidance of highly skilled coaches and a tactical system that values intelligent and versatile players, he could grow exponentially. However, competition within the Warriors roster is fierce, every spot is valuable, and the team is at a critical juncture trying to balance their pursuit of another title with a strategic long-term plan. There's little room for error. If Kai is signed, he'll have to prove quickly that he belongs and that he can contribute both defensively and offensively. Kai Sotto's impact wouldn't only be technical, but also cultural and commercial. The NBA has become increasingly global, and players who can create connections with new audiences become valuable assets for franchises. Kai would not only represent a promise on the court, but also serve as a bridge between cultures. The Filipino fan base, known for their unmatched passion for basketball, would follow every step of his journey, and this engaged fan base could become a powerful force for the Warriors. Try to imagine a Chase Center filled with Filipino flags and enthusiastic fans celebrating every play by Kai. The environment would become even more vibrant, creating a unique experience for fans and a distinctive edge for the team. Additionally, commercial partnerships in Asia could be boosted, making this potential signing a strategic move not only in terms of sports, but also in business. If Kai manages to establish himself, he could become a key part of the new generation of Warriors talents. The team has already shown that they know how to hone promising players, turning them into stars. The experience of being around seasoned players, combined with the franchise's top-level structure, will be a crucial factor in his development. However, he'll need to show patience and determination, two essential qualities for any young athlete trying to find their place in the NBA. The big question in the air is, can Kai Sotto be the piece the Warriors need? The team has missed a dominant presence in the paint in recent years, something that became evident against physically imposing opponents. With his height and shot-blocking ability, Kai could fill that gap and bring a new dimension to the team's tactical scheme. The franchise needs to make a strategic decision that balances the immediate need to compete for titles with a long-term vision for the future. With his wingspan and technical potential, Kai Sotto could be a solution to an old problem for the Warriors, the lack of a center with consistent defensive presence. Although Kevon Looney is a warrior on the court, facing bigger players has been a challenge for the team. Steve Kerr's system requires all players to be smart, move well, and communicate effectively on defense. For Kai, this means he'll have to adapt quickly. It's not enough to just be an efficient rim protector. He'll need to improve his lateral mobility and make quick decisions to keep up with the Warriors' dynamic style of play. If he can, his height and natural skills could become a massive asset both defensively and offensively. If the franchise signs him, Kai Sotto will have the chance to prove his worth on one of the biggest basketball stages in the world. Playing alongside legends and learning from renowned coaches could be the ideal path for his growth. But he'll need to demonstrate his abilities from the first days, as patience within an organization constantly striving for titles is very limited. The cultural aspect can't be overlooked either. The Bay Area is home to one of the largest Filipino communities outside the Philippines, making this the perfect environment for Kai. He could be more than just a player. He could become an ambassador for Filipino basketball in the NBA. This emotional connection with fans would be a huge asset for the franchise and for the player himself. Finally, if the Warriors decide to bet on Kai Sotto, they will be taking a risk, but also an incredible opportunity. The NBA has been a place of surprises, where overlooked players have managed to become huge stars. If he shows dedication and development, he could earn his spot and become an essential part of the team's rotation. The question remains, will Kai Sotto be the next big name for the Warriors, or will this be just another bet that doesn't materialize? Time will tell. Did you enjoy the video? Then leave a like to support the channel, and if you're not subscribed yet, don't waste time and hit that subscribe button to keep up with everything we bring here. Turn on the bell so you don't miss any updates. See you in the next video. Thanks, and see you there.